I wanted to talk about the Rio Icana Pterophyllum Altum cross by the tank-raised Orinoco fish that I have been working on. Altums from different catch locations, they have a lot of the same traits and a lot of the behavioral highlights, but they are different. They have evolved separately over millions of years. And some of them have different dispositions, and some of them you can see they swim different, they interact slightly different. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about creating this mix and its relevance and some of the challenges that I had with that. A Rio Icana Altum is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful fish that I have seen. They got a ton of pink and reds, the metallic blue sheen in their head, tons of contrast, are really, really tall, and they have a really notched nose. To me, these look like the classic Altum that you would picture, that anyone would think of to be an Altum. Another interesting fact about the Rio Icana Altum is that these fish originate from Brazil. The Rio Icana is a tributary of the Rio Negro, which is in the Amazon drainage. So that makes these Altum unique to a lot of the other Altum that are imported, is that the Orinoco ultimately flows north and the Amazon flows out to the east. So these fish were separated. There's lots of different ideas and theories why they were separated. Some think that there is a place where they could have possibly connected. And there's another theory that millions of years ago they could have been separated by rising mountain ranges, that ultimately all the rivers have changed their flow. With spawning, what is amazing is the tank-raised Orinoco and the wild Rio Icana fish, they were able to communicate even though they've been isolated possibly for millions and millions of years, that they were able to talk with each other in their body language to be able to get a spawn. And the male Icana fish was a little bit unwilling, but when the female Orinoco started laying eggs, he pretty much had a little trigger in his head and it flipped around and he went ahead and fertilized those eggs. So another challenge was that they kind of like slightly different water conditions. I noticed that the tank-raised fish, they kind of do better in the warmer water, whereas the temperature, once I start getting less than 80 degrees, they kind of slow down and they start acting different. And I really felt the Rio Icana Altum, once the temperature went lower, they became more active and they were showing more signs of spawning behavior and of dancing. And if we're going to talk about fighting, that's another trait that I've noticed about these Icana that made them really difficult to make the cross, is they, I believe, what I have seen, are much more aggressive than some of the other Pterophyllum Altum variants that I have. And so there were a lot of problems with aggression. When I cooled down the temperature, I noticed he was a little bit nicer to her, but also she would become almost inactive. And then when I warmed up the water to her preference, then all of a sudden he would not be interested in spawning, but I noticed he was more interested in fighting at that point. And once she became undefensive, as soon as when he tries to fight her, the moment that she decides that I'm not going to fight back with you, and I noticed that domination just continued. So these are the types of issues that we've been having with this pair. Another significance of the cross is that the Orinoco line that we work with is, I believe, the most domesticated Pterophyllum Altum in the world. That being said, is that they're very easy to care for, and they are much more likely to spawn. So just to let you know, we still are working with it, Cross. We haven't given up on it, and we are hoping that they will spawn and then we fix our issues. Whatever they may be, we'll continue to work with this and try to get a larger spawn that we can get in everybody's tanks. Thank you guys for watching and for all your support over the years. I have a nice group of Orinoco fish that will come for sale in the middle of February. Check that out. If you decide that you would like to start a tank for Pterophyllum Altum angelfish, I hope that you would choose Shoreline Aquatics. I'll do everything I can to make sure you guys get the healthy fish that with your care you will enjoy for years and years and years. Please come check us out, www.shoreline-aquatics.com. Thanks again. Bye.